here in Kentucky, because again, that did have Franklin, the city of Frankfort, that was within that warning itself. Does look like that cell has moved off to your east. Any new issuance of that, I'll get to that in a moment. If there is a new issuance there, I'll get to that. Farther off to the north and west, we have tornado warnings here. Another one that is now into Kentucky, south central Kentucky. There is Kentucky, and this is north central Tennessee. So now we have ongoing tornado warnings here for Allen and Simpson County in Kentucky. Let me quickly go over to velocity mode here, and there's a bit of that circulation that is there. Let me just track this out real quickly. That is the circulation to the north and east of Portland, Tennessee, for New Road, Kentucky until 5:04, Chapel Hill at 5:13, and looking at West Fork at 5:18, all in Kentucky. Let's get back to the ongoing tornado warning here, and now to the east of Hendersonville, and now on Sumner and Wilson County. That is the circulation. Again, a little bit of a ground clutter that's being picked up here, but you're looking right here. There is basically have our debris that's being picked up there. So now to the east of Hendersonville, basically tracking right along I-30 or Highway 31E. So upstream from that, Gallatin, looks like this is going to be heading in your direction as well. This is time for you to take cover. So basically Highway 386, it looks like. Is that where we are? So there's 386 here. It looks like this right about here. So it looks like this tornado is tracking right along looks like 386 and 31E. Let me get this off. I'm going to track this for you. So right about here, and it's going to be tracking off toward Gallatin. So Gallatin, we have about 9 minutes from this tornado to heading in your direction. Again, just by seeing things and getting some reports, looks like the tornado is still, looks like it's still on the ground now to the north and east of Hendersonville. Not seeing, don't know what in terms of what has happened there. Just by looking at what it looked like on radar, that could have been extremely devastating for Hendersonville. It does look like it's heading toward Gallatin, basically traveling anywhere along and right near E and to the east of Hendersonville, Tennessee. Let's get this here, and heading toward Gallatin, Tennessee, as this tornado looks to still be on the ground and looks to still be heading in that direction. Let me pull back out again. A lot of times it's tough when you get in really close to show, a lot easier when you get a little bit farther out here. So here we are again to the northeast of downtown Nashville as of right now. Let me get some information on this while we can. Again, this just getting a catastrophic tag on this. As long as there's a tornado emergency, I'm going to continue to stay on with this until we can either confirm that this thing is lifted or it is going to be no longer a threat. But again, that tornado is basically right here now in to the east of Hendersonville, heading toward Gallatin. We are now to the northeast of Nashville. So as far as Nashville proper goes, we are not looking at any warnings as of this time for downtown Nashville. That doesn't mean we're out of the threat as of yet, but the ongoing tornado emergency is going on here. And again, tornado on the ground here now in Hendersonville is now to your east. It looks like it is now heading toward Gallatin, basically traveling right along either 31E or 386. Let me just go back a few frames here. So this is what it looked like as it was traveling through, looks like the northern part of downtown center in Hendersonville, and does look like it continues to be tracking. Maybe it looks like right along 31E as of now. So up ahead of that is Gallatin. One thing I want to point out here too. So Gallatin, this is in your direction. You really are running out of time here. 5:10. So we got 7 minutes from now, as long as we have this tornado that does look to be bringing in power flashes and does look to be heading in your direction. I'm going to continue to stay on with this. Bottom of your screen here, just below my shot here, is Bryce Shelton. He is tracking these storms in and around Nashville. So it looks like he's going to be heading in the direction of where this is, but an extremely dangerous situation in parts of Tennessee. So we're now northeast of the Nashville metro area. And Bryce Shelton continues to track. As you can see, the vivid lightning in the image there, as he don't quite know what road he is on now, but with a tracker, he's most likely either coming in behind it or coming in from the south from this direction. But we'll see that in a moment. So again, ongoing tornado emergency here. It looks like one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to really quickly go and see. We're seeing some power outages. One thing you can also notice, too, when you see power outages, they're coming, then obviously it's coming from some type of wind damage, so you can see the power outages there. I would not be surprised. We're dealing with some issues there for Hendersonville, but Sumner and Wilson County's tornado emergency continues, meaning that there is a tornado on the ground. It is confirmed and is heading in the direction. Castellan Springs, you are not in the tornado emergency right now, but notice that you are just downstream from this. So we still have that tornado emergency going on for another 11 minutes or so for now. We'll see what happens if this thing, though, it does look like it's still continuing to be on the ground, and does look like we do have at least a debris ball that's coming out there. Let me go to this can be hard to see. A lot of the ground clear. Again, sometimes when we go to this, all right, I'm just going to head back out of that. It's hard to see when you go to the correlation coefficient. We're looking for things that are not natural in terms of raindrops, but it does look like we just have too many things that are in the way, whether it's buildings, trees, or anything that's in the way. Let me turn this off. We are in. It's going to get messy here again, but I'm getting into street level mode again. So I'm just going to call out some street names. If you hear your street, this tornado is heading in your direction and you are less than a minute away. South Brown Lane, Lake Shore Drive, Lock 4 Road, Jocelyn Avenue, Tulip Poplar Drive, Hancock Street, and Bay Point Drive. Any one of these, this cell is heading in your direction, basically heading toward downtown Gallatin for right now. You got about 4 minutes before this cell heads in your direction. And again, when you see the image like this, know that it's already moved on. This cell, again, we have to wait for scans to come in. So by the time it updates, it's already going to be farther ahead. So don't take it for what it is here. Just know that this cell is continuing, and this tornado is continuing to move in the in that northeast direction. Just for reference there, Nashville, NWS Nashville has canceled the tornado warning for Davison County, Kentucky, but it looks like it's going to continue with that tornado emergency. It does look like I'm just reading some of the reports here that we may have some issues, and again, some damage that be coming out of Hendersonville. Going to wait for some of the reports to come out of that. Not seeing as of right now, but don't want to quite confirm that as of yet. But it does look like there might be the possibility of some damage there, unconfirmed as of right now. So if you're just joining us here, ongoing tornado on the ground here now to the northeast of downtown Nashville, heading toward Gallatin, Tennessee. That is the cell itself. So some of the areas are going to be impacted by this. Gallatin, minutes from now, 3 minutes. Trousdale at 5:15 and Desha at 5:19. You need to get inside, and you need to just know that it is you're in an absolutely dangerous situation. It looks like this storm is now crossing Tennessee Grasslands Golf Course, moving into Gallatin as of this time. So Gallatin, you're now being hit by this. This tornado that has been confirmed on the ground is now heading into Gallatin, Tennessee. Just a devastating situation, considering that we possibly have already had power outages. We're already seeing some power strikes and some possible damage that is coming out of Hendersonville. Now we have this heading into Gallatin, Tennessee. So I know that we're up very close here, but Gallatin, Tennessee, the new tornado emergency has been reissued. You can see that's what's flashing there. Just want to get the, and I'm going to zoom back in again. So there is downtown Gallatin. The tornado is definitely heading your direction. If you hear your street name, this tornado is heading toward you. Southwater Avenue, anywhere Gallatin and anywhere downtown Gallatin or to the east of Gallatin, North Water Avenue, Steam Plant Road, Tulip Circle, Gateway Drive, Coles Ferry Road. All the roads I just named are all roads that are going to be impacted by this tornado, large tornado on the ground. And it looks like it's going to be crossing over Airport Road, Highway 109, south of Gallatin, really within just a minute or so from now. So again, extremely dangerous. Let me pull back out a bit, and yeah, you can see just the clutter that's coming out of this. It's right about here, and then moving off to the east. Let me go back a bit. I know it's hard to see, but I'm going to zoom back out a little bit more. So what we're basically looking at is right here, and then as we continue to move farther up ahead, yeah. So looks like it'll be heading. Looks to be to the. Let me turn that right off there. So crossing over 109, and again heading in the direction of. Right about here. So a lot of streets they're going to be picking up there. I know we didn't pick up any cities, but again, I'm going to name off some streets where this tornado is on the ground. We are looking at Woods Ferry Road and Stema Plant Drive as well. Let me pull back out again, and we have a live look, at least early on today. This is from Clarksville, Tennessee. This is a damage that had occurred from earlier. This is why I've been staying on this. So what we're looking for here was an earlier tornado warning that had, this is the one that was the cell that was in parts of south central Tennessee. But again, that is from this particular cell. Notice how we have all this. There's the same tornado that looks like it tracked across the ground into north of Clarksville, Tennessee, that tracked into south central Tennessee and toward the Bowling Green area as well. So that is where that damage is coming from. You're seeing at the bottom of your screen right here. That is from this cell itself here. One thing I want to point out here, at least with this, is as far as damage reports, we do have, at least for Madison, this is for the cell that's currently into Gallatin. That's for Madison. Notice cars flipped on I-65, again indicating at the very least some wind damage. But again, from what we're seeing, at least on radar, it looks like there is that tornado that's on the ground. So again, just on the bottom of your screen there, the ongoing image of just around Clarksville, Tennessee. That was from an earlier tornado that looks like an earlier likely tornado that has passed its way through. So a tornado warning, tornado emergency continuing for Gallatin County, or for Sumner County, Gallatin, Tennessee. This tornado is basically moving right overhead, right through Gallatin, and now moving through the city itself. And it now looks like it's just off to your east. So now pulling back out a bit and looking at some of the areas that could be impacted by this again. That's a dangerous situation. We can see basically a bit of a debris ball here. And let me just go and see if we can pick up. Still a little bit harder to pick up on maybe right here, what we're picking up as far as debris that could be in the air. I'm just going to track that because just for the simple fact that that seems to correspond with, that's going to correspond with what we could be seeing. Again, it's a little messy here. I'm in Tennessee, Catalin Springs, 521 Pace Store at 525, and Tupelo at 528. Let me get back to something that's a little bit easier to see. Ongoing tornado emergency here, and I'm going to continue to stay on this as far as we're going. And again, credit to National Weather Service Nashville for being really good and being very communicative. It looks like the current plan is to let the tornado emergency expire as scheduled and place it with a new tornado warning for southeast Sumner into Trousdale County. The tornado is just about to cross over Gallatin Airport Road itself. So what's going to happen is with the tornado emergency that we're going to see a new tornado warning that's going to pop up right about here. There it is. There's a new tornado warning that just popped up right when I was doing that. So tornado's still on the ground, but now we're moving into an area that still certainly has population, but that are going to be impacted by this. So Catalin Springs is now, you're next. You're now in the path of this tornado as it continues to track in your direction. Extremely dangerous situation here. That new tornado warning for Macon, Sumner, and Trousdale counties here in Tennessee. That will continue until 5:45 local time, so another 32 minutes or so from now. Let me go over to velocity mode again. You can pick it up. Now that we're starting to get away from what we call ground clutter and what we're seeing in terms of buildings and trees and a bunch of things in and around the Nashville Metro. Now what we're seeing is the radar beam's able to see a little bit more now, and so that is why we're able to pick up the tornado that's on the ground here. Let me go back a couple of frames and see what it was. So it was right here to the south of Gallatin, and then continues to track right about here, right there. And now it looks like it continues on a track of about east to northeast, it looks like. So, yeah. Let me see here. Get the particulars on here. For Castellan Springs, it looks like this cell's moving east at 40 miles an hour. So it is moving east. There's a touch of a northerly component to this. So cities are going to be impacted by this. Cairo at 5:16. I apologize if I am pronouncing your city names incorrectly, but Cairo at 5:16. Castellan Springs at 5:21. Paystor at 5:24. Templo at 5:28, and Hartsville, all in Tennessee, all under the tornado warning. Again, that confirmed tornado at least was on the ground. It does look like, as far as what we're looking at here, I'm going to go back just a couple of frames here. One thing I want to point out is from here, it looks like certainly we had something that was on the ground, something here, and then let me see if maybe, just maybe, let's hope that this is starting to broaden out a little bit, but still, this is such a dangerous situation. I just want to continue to stay on this here in Tennessee. So Castellan Springs, this is heading in your direction. Again, ongoing tornado warning. This tornado certainly has been confirmed at one point. It does look like we're going to continue with this. Radar confirmed tornado will continue to trek off to the east. Let me get a bigger perspective here. I want to just get everyone in here because that's not the only show in town in terms of what we're seeing. Notice all these severe thunderstorm warnings that are now popping up farther back into northern Mississippi, back toward Louisiana, even over well into East Texas as well. Now we're starting to see some individual cells in the Mississippi. And if you line this up with where our tornado watches are, it just goes to show that, yeah, we have the possibility of more tornadic activity, especially with those lines of storms that are popping up ahead of the line. So tornado watch remains in effect here in central Mississippi until midnight local time. It does extend into west central Alabama, farther off to the north and east. Tornado watch in effect from Huntsville, Alabama, into eastern Kentucky, east of Nashville, and also south central Kentucky, basically between I-65 and I-75 here in Kentucky. That tornado watch in effect until 11 o'clock. And then farther off to the east, this ongoing tornado watch that does in effect right here, that does include Nashville with that line that moved through Bowling Green as well. What we're going to do is I'm just going to continue with these tornado warnings. Want to get to someone that's still out there. Allen County, Kentucky, tornado warning in effect. That tornado warning is in effect for Allen County, Kentucky. That's until 5:45. Let me get into this one more time, and let me look real quickly at some of the information I'm getting. Actually, while we're looking at this, yeah, Allen County, Kentucky until 5:45, and then we got the one here in tornado warning here in Kentucky, in Tennessee, or Castellan Springs. I want to at least stay on this and watch this go through and see where we are going from this before we may be able to take you back. As considering that this has already been a tornado that has been, looks like it has been on the ground and has been bringing some damage before, it will be something that I just want to keep our eye on. So Castellan Springs, you've got 3 minutes before this storm is on you, this tornado is on you. Paystor at 5:23, Hartsville at 5:31. Again, this is all areas here in Tennessee, and this is all areas that were downstream from what looked to be a tornado that had been on the ground. So I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to give you I'm going to take this off here. I'm going to zoom in and just give you some of the streets and some of that could be impacted by this. So again, you have Castellan Springs right here. The cell itself is just off to your west now, and you can really see it well. So basically from Greenfield Lane over to Rock Springs Road, if you hear your street name, you're going to be impacted by this tornado. Governor Hall Road, basically all these roads in around Castellan Springs to the west of Highway 231. Hog Hollow Lane, Wolf Hill Lane, Browning Branch Road, all those streets that I've just mentioned, all of you are going to be impacted by this tornado that still looks to be, it's a radar indicated tornado. It had at least been on the ground at one time. And again, this is something that will looks to continue. Bigger perspective here is to show you that we have ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings that are back here in two parts of southwestern parts of Nashville Metro. So again, that is for. This is for right here for Hickman, Lewis, and Perry County until 5:31. We have a severe thunderstorm warning here for Lee, Pontotoc, and Union counties for Mississippi. That's until 6 o'clock. These storms in Mississippi, it's more, a lot of these too, it's more the hail that we're looking at. So just know that here in Tupelo, there's possibility of seeing some extremely large hail. You can see it tracking south of Thaxton. Hail size over an inch here, larger than an inch here in Mississippi. So just be aware of that in Tupelo. Not seeing anything that is a tornado warning now, but severe thunderstorm warnings that could be bringing some large hail your way. And then farther off to the north here, we have warnings that are going on here in Mississippi, possibly heading into Alabama for Lee, Preston, and Union counties until 6 o'clock. And going to pop back up here again too and stay on this and show you the bigger perspective. Lot of warnings, and again with that ongoing tornado warning here in Tennessee, that is why we continue to stay on with that tornado. That is radar confirmed tornado. It looked like it had at least been on the ground for a while, and looks like it will continue to cause some damage here. It does look like though. The one thing that we're noticing here, and the one thing I'm starting to see out of these two tornado warnings, is that it does look like we're going to be seeing these warnings possibly, maybe, hopefully, not as strong as they were before. So here it is in Castleton Springs. It's not the signature is not looking as bad as it was. I'm going to stop this again for Macon, Sumner, and Trousdale County. The tornado warning continues until 5:45. I want to go back just a couple of frames here. So this is about 5 o'clock. So when it was just right around Gallatin, extremely as far as radar went, it looked much worse than it looks like. Maybe there's a bit of some weakening that's going on here. So for Castleton Springs, let's just hope, for your sake, that this cell itself is beginning to weaken a bit. I mean, the warning continues, but it's going to continue. It does look like there is a bit of weakening that possibly can going on. So again, I'm going to name this could be something that hopefully that is a sign that of things to come here. And so it does look like we are going to be seeing this possibly moving away, and it does look like it is going to be maybe not as intense as it was before, but again, that ongoing tornado warning that does continue to track off to the east. So I'm just going to give some cities that are going to be impacted by this. Again, Castleton Springs is basically heading overhead right now. Chipman at 5:26, Green Grove at 5:34, Horsley at 5:38, and Gap of the Ridge at 5:24. All cities that are going to be that are currently impacted by this ongoing tornado warning. We also have a tornado warning just off to your north there, and that is into south central Kentucky for Allen County. That's until 5:45 local time. As far as watches